What's the fastest way to make money with candles? Hold tight and I will tell you. No, it's not events, wholesale B2B, or setting up an Etsy or Shopify store. But first, let's talk about the problems with those things. Events, for example. You go, you pack up all your stuff, you load it in the vehicle, you take it to the place, and then you pay your fee and you set up shop, and then you just hope that someone likes your booth and likes your products, and then they buy. But in the reality, you are competing the entire time you're there with all the other vendors and all the other things that are catching people's attention. So it's shiny object syndrome for the consumer, right? So they're walking along and they see this and they see that and they like a little bit of everything, but the chances of them actually buying things that they are in love with is very, very low. Okay. And then wholesale B2B, you get vendors to actually purchase your product in bulk, right? And when you're doing this, you got to put together your line sheet. You got to put together a presentation. You got to put together all your emails. You might be doing cold email, lead generation, scouring the web, looking for vendors, looking for shops local next to you in the nearby area. It's a lot of manual work to go find people who might be interested in stocking your stuff. And then even if they are, then you got to negotiate a rate and hope that you still have an actual budget for profit in your margins, right? And then you got to make all the stuff. And a lot of times they only pay you upon delivery. So you got to come out of pocket for all your supplies and your labor cost if you're hiring help to make a big batch of bulk candles. And then you get paid upon delivery, right? So that's the problem with wholesale B2B. You got to do a lot of work and then you got to pay upfront normally for all your supplies, do all the work, prep all the product, and then deliver it, and then you get paid, right? And then you have no dependability, you have no structure, you have no consistency on those sales. It's literally like feast or famine. You kill what you eat. So you're constantly hunting for the next prospect, the next shop, the next store that will buy your product in bulk, right? And a lot of times you got to do samples. And there's a lot of back and forth before you ever get to an actual deal. Now with Etsy and Shopify, Etsy, you're obviously competing on a huge marketplace, just like at an event, right? So um, everybody is competing on price. Everybody is competing for the same free traffic. And it's a matter of what you're selling and your pricing and your product picture, your product description, your SEO. It takes a lot of manual work up front before you ever actually start creating sales. And then even then, it can be random. It's not consistent, okay? Now, Shopify, you set up a whole store, you fill it with all of your products. It's not like a Facebook marketplace or an Etsy where they provide the traffic. You have to go manually go find your customers. And a lot of times what people do is they spend all their time posting all over social media just to get organic traffic, which is free. So you either invest with your time by posting organically all over the internet, basically, or you invest with your money with paid marketing, and then you turn around and send them to a Shopify store, which is a dead end, basically a brick wall, because it has 150 products or however many that you have listed for sale. And again, just like when someone's at an event, they get that shiny object syndrome. They see a bunch of stuff they like. They're kind of just, window shopping, and they browse, they get overwhelmed, and then they leave. Okay. So those are the problems with those ways of selling your candles. And there's nothing wrong with doing them. Again, a lot of people start out that way. I actually talked to one of my students this last weekend who had been doing events for years. And over this last weekend, she gave it another go. Again, having to make all of her inventory up front, out of pocket, going to the location, paying the vendor fees, setting everything up. And at the end of the day, she made 0 sales. So she was brokenhearted again. And that's just a reminder of how those events work. It's hit or miss. There's never a guarantee. You are gambling essentially. So after she texted me saying how disappointed she was in all of her events, and especially this last one, she said she was so happy that she had found me and no longer has to do events unless she wants to. So by now you're probably wondering, what is the fastest way to make money with candles? And yes, it's exactly what I teach my students how to do. And that's to set up their own candle subscription. This is repeat money that comes in each and every month without you having to leave your house, without you having to go find prospects, without you having to beg at people's doorstep or at their email inbox, without you having to constantly post all over social media, without you having to pay out of pocket for all of your inventory and your supplies, and then hope you get paid afterwards with B2B. And then hopefully you find another person that's willing to invest and give you another bulk order. Okay. So subscriptions equal freedom. It's consistent sales. You get that repeat money each and every month. You make the orders. And what I actually teach is what's called the pre-order model. So basically everything's set up on a pre-order basis. So you take pre-orders for a month, and then you lock in all of those orders, and then you turn around, you download your actual orders, you figure out how many supplies you need, you go order all your supplies, and then you use the money that you got from all your pre-orders to pay for those supplies. So you're never coming out of pocket up front for your actual product cost, and you only make what you actually have already sold. So this is beneficial two ways, right? One, you're not a slave to your craft. You're not in the kitchen every single day making candles. You make them once a month in one big bulk batch, okay? Number two is you get paid up front, and you turn around and you use that money that you got from your pre-orders to invest in the actual product cost, the actual supplies, your wax, your wicks, your fragrance oils, your dye, all that kind of good stuff, your containers. And then you make your products all in one big bulk batch, and you ship them all out. And you do this every single month. And again, that has people on a subscription. So they're on a subscription. They pay with a pre-order model. 1 month, you order supplies, you make the candles, you ship them out. Next month, you do the same. You order supplies, you make your candles, you ship them out. Okay, so this equals not only time freedom, but also financial freedom. So now you're probably wondering, how do you set one up? Simple. You model what works. Okay, so all you got to do in order to figure this out is Google monthly candle boxes and see what other candle businesses are selling. Because if they're selling it, then it's obviously working, right? So we want to model what works. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then I'm going to show you some examples of what we find when we Google monthly candle boxes. Okay, so here we go. Monthly candle box into Google. See what we can find. All right, so we got the Lucernia monthly candle box. Let's see what they're offering with that. So let's see. They got 1 month for $18 per box. But what is actually in it? Because you want to look at both, right? You want to look at what they're offering, what they're naming it, and what they're pricing it for, okay? And this is going to give you everything you need research-wise in order to create your own monthly candle box. All right, so we see a candle. It looks like it's a 4 ounce. Hang on, get rid of this chat. What else do we have in the box? We got some filler stuff. It looks like, you know, cards or something. Let's see here. We recommend a 4 ounce candle, 24-hour burn time with smaller spaces such as bathrooms. Okay, so they're just telling you where to use it. They're telling you what kind of materials you're using, natural wax, cotton wicks, dye-free, all that kind of good stuff. But so yeah, basically it's 1 candle per month for $18, and it's a 4 ounce candle, which is actually pretty small. So again, you want to do this research. You want to make you a spreadsheet and see, okay, we got the Lucerna monthly candle box. They're selling a 4 ounce candle for $18 a month, and that's all that's in the box besides some filler, you know, paper or whatever. It looks like they might have some other ointment. I can't really tell what that is. It might be, you know, stuff for your diffusers or whatever. They might, you know, and you also want to research and see what, you know, how they're packaging it. Are they branding their box? Or, you know, they're putting other stuff in there as well. Probably stuff for repeat sales, retargeting, all that kind of stuff. And they're putting in a nice little sash box or sash bag. Let's see what else we can find. So we got Velabox. I'm going to go over them in a bit. Let's see. Brooklyn Monthly candle subscription. Let's open that tab. All right, Candle of the Month Club. You are gonna get a, oh, hang on. Okay, so you can pick between how you want it delivered for them. They have 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months is their actual refill process. But what actually comes with their candle box? It looks like a candle. It looks like matches. The description isn't very clear on that. It doesn't say what size the candle is. It doesn't say, what materials they're using. Um, so a very simple design, very minimalistic, and obviously just a candle and maybe the matches, maybe not. They might just you be using that for a product shot. So it's kind of hard to tell on this one, but I would put this information in a spreadsheet. They got a one candle, maybe some matches for $35 a month. Okay. Now let's go back and see what else we can find. Open this one, Frost Bead. Oh, Frost Beard, excuse me. Studio. All right, so Candle of the Month Club for $14.99. Let's see what is in it. Okay, so they got an 8-ounce jar or a set of 2 wax melts. So those are your options. So the 8-ounce candle is $19.99 a month, and the 2 wax melts is $14.99 a month. So you want to put both of those things inside your spreadsheet. Let's go figure out what else we got here. Outer Banks, let's look at them. $35 on the first of the month. You get a large specialty candle. You get a special gift, all delivered to your door each month for $35 included shipping. So they're doing $35 plus free shipping. And that's important. So make a note of that in your spreadsheet, okay? Let's see if we can zoom in on this. No, it's not letting me zoom in on that. It looks like they might have a Tarte or soap product that they're pairing with it. I can't really tell on that. It says a special gift. So they're probably swapping out the gift every single month. So that's something to note in your spreadsheet is like, okay, they're doing a, doesn't even say what size candle, but they're also doing a random surprise gift every single month. So obviously a new fragrance every month along with a surprise gift, okay, for $35 a month plus free shipping, okay? Now let's go back. We got Wax Wayne candles. Candle of the Month outgoing subscription box. Let's see. What do they have in it? 8-ounce candle with free shipping for $24 per month. Okay, so they're doing one candle for $24 a month plus free shipping, and it's an 8-ounce candle. Okay, these are super easy to set up, and all you got to do is do your research. So dig through Google, use it as your research tool, make you a spreadsheet, and see what other businesses are doing. Because if they're doing it, it's working, right? They don't keep selling the same product over and over again if it's not working. If it's not selling, they'll take it down off their website. Okay, so use this to your benefit. Go figure out what's working and then model it. Okay. Now I want to show you, we touched on Velabox, or hang on, let's do a few more. Yo Soy candle. All right, so let's see. You can either get one 4-ounce candle for $17 per month or one 8-ounce candle for $27 per month. Or you could pay yearly, it looks like. So they have it billing broken out into 2 different ways, which is very, very important. And I want to go through that in a minute, okay? But before we do, so they have, okay, 4-ounce yearly subscription. They got it broken into 3 different price points. 8-ounce yearly subscription. They got it broken into 3 different price points. So you could do every 3 months for $81. You could do every 6 months and every 12 months for $324. Okay. Or a single box by itself for $28. So obviously they have quantity discounts. They have annual discounts. They have discounts for if you buy, 3 months in advance. Okay, so like the 4 ounce by itself, right, was $17. So let's do the math on that. 17 times 3 is 51. So they're not giving you a discount there. Let's see if they're giving you a discount on the 6 months. Nope, they're not giving you a discount there. That's interesting. And then 12. Okay, they're actually not doing quantity discounts or annual discounts. They're just showing, okay, you can buy for 3 months for this price, and it's the same price as you would pay monthly, but you pay up front in advance for those subscriptions. And then I'm assuming the same is going to be for their 8 ounce options as well. All right, so let's go back and see. We got Nubble Light Candle. And again, you might get different results than what I'm getting because you're in a different area, right? So Google might pull up something local for you. So this is super important that you do this research if you're interested in making money with candles, because if you can get that repeat business every single month coming in, you're going to be free. All right, monthly candle club subscription, ongoing, pay monthly, $10.95, and these look small. Let's see if we can find the size. Doesn't say, but based off what I'm looking at, it's either a 6 ounce mason jar or an 8 ounce mason jar. It might even be a 4 ounce, to be honest with you. It's hard to tell. Whoa, we don't want to watch the video right now. Let me see if I can zoom. Now it won't let me read how many ounces is on there, and it's not in their product description. Oh, wait, I found it. 8 ounce. There it is. Okay, so now we know we got an 8 ounce mason jar candle, super easy to make, for $10.95. Now they're obviously on the low end for what we've been seeing for 8 ounce candles. So that's why you want to do this research as well, is because you want to kind of see, okay, we got one person selling an 8 ounce candle for this. We got another person selling an 8 ounce candle for this. We got somebody else selling an 8 ounce candle for this, and another one for this. And then you want to figure out what, based off their product, based off what they're doing, based off their, pricing and all that kind of stuff, what do you want to charge for yours? Okay. So you'll basically use all of this information as a gauge for how you're going to set up your subscription box, what you're going to include and what you're going to price it. All right. Let me see here. I want to go back to VeloBox because this is a company that I actually used when I was getting started doing the same exact process, my research, to figure out what other candle businesses were using for their subscription boxes in order to make mine. Okay, now I didn't copy. Super important that you don't copy. There's copyright rules and all that kind of stuff. You can get sued. But what you can do is model what works, right? So if we click on subscribe to them, it looks like obviously their website's changed over the last 5 years. So now they want you to build your perfect box. So you're going to take you through a Q&A and all that kind of stuff. But let me show you what they used to do. Okay, so I have a screenshot of it. This is what their website used to look like whenever I found them back in 2021 or so. This is what they were offering. They didn't have the little figure out what you want based off what your needs are kind of survey is basically what it is. They had this setup, the Lucerna box, which is a 4 ounce candle, and it has 25 hours of burn time plus one surprise gift. $10 plus 3 is $13 a month. And then we have an 8 ounce candle, 50 hours burn time plus one surprise gift and $3 shipping and handling. So that's $23 a month for a candle and a surprise gift. And then their main bigger box is going to be an 8 ounce plus a 4 ounce. And let's see, one surprise gift for $30 a month and free shipping. Okay, so this is what we saw when we did our product research back in the day, and this is what we used to model and create our own. Okay, so let me show you how our candle boxes started based off of this. Okay, so we had a rustic tart box with 2 bags of rustic star tarts, and we did I don't have the prices on here for what it was actually selling for, but I told him it was a $39.99 value, obviously inflated a little bit. And then we were selling that for, I believe, $9.99 plus $4.99 shipping and handling. And then our our mason jar candle and a bag of rustic star tarts was 8-ounce candle. That one was priced at $20 a month plus the $4.99 shipping and handling. And then we had another one, which was our main one. And this is a picture of it when we first got started. Now, again, the labeling, I know what you don't know when you start is crazy. Since then, obviously, we've changed our labels, made sure that they're legal and all that kind of good stuff. So I know you're going to comment below, oh my God, your labels are way off. I know. But the thing is, I didn't know back then, right? And a lot of people don't know how to make a proper candle label per the legal requirements when they're first getting started. So we see it all the time when you're out and about, you're going to the stores, you're checking out the candles on the shelf. 9 times out of 10, they're going to have something missing on their label, right? And it's not because they're doing it intentionally, it's because they don't know, right? And most beginners don't know how to make a proper legal candle. And if you want more information about that, I had made a DIY candle label ebook a while back, and it's still 100% relevant. It'll walk you through how to make your candle labels and what all to include on them to make sure that they're legal. And I will put that link in the description below. All right, so this is was our rustic candle box when we first started. So we had a 12-ounce cattle branded candle and a bag of rustic star tarts, and then we priced that at $30 per month plus free shipping. Okay, so we modeled, again, we didn't copy what Velabox was doing. We modeled what they were doing. Again, some of our stuff's a little different, but our prices are the same. So minus $1 or so. So they had, you know, a small candle and a surprise gift for $10 plus $3 in shipping and handling. We had 2 items, just like they have 2 items, but ours were just 2 bags of tarts, okay? And we used basically the same price point, except for it was $10 plus $4.99 shipping. So we added an extra $1.99 or whatever. And then this one, they had 2 items as well. They had a candle and a surprise gift. So we did a candle and a bag of tarts. We used what we had on hand. When you're just starting out, you don't have to overthink this and come up with something crazy and complicated. You just have to say, what do I have on hand? What can I make? What can I include, right? So we used what we had, a candle and tarts. And then we priced that at $20 per month plus the shipping. And then the next one, they had 2 things and a surprise gift. So when we first started out on our rustic candle box, we actually just did 1 candle and 1 bag of tarts for the same price, $30 plus free shipping, okay? Later on, we ended up adding a 2nd bag of tarts, okay? So you don't have to do everything exactly like everybody else. Again, this is your business. This is your baby, right? You get to fully customize what you want to do and how you want to make it and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so let's get out of here. I think I covered all the pictures I wanted to cover. Yep. Okay, and then I will go and show you what our actual candle boxes look like now. Where did I put that? Oh, way over here. All right, so this is what our candle boxes look like now. Again, you'll notice they very much model the Velabox original subscription box plans, but with our own stuff. And again, these pictures are outdated. I need to go update them. I keep forgetting, but we do use our new labels when we're putting our products together nowadays. We just haven't updated the pictures on the actual website. So we have our 2 bags of star tarts. Again, oh, I changed this page as well. It no longer shows the price. You have to actually click to learn more. So I'm using the curiosity to get them to engage and move further along into the sales process. But I'm telling them what they're getting and how long it's gonna last them, just like Bella did. And then here we got our mason jar candle. We also included an extra bag of tarts with that subscription over the last few years. So now they get a mason candle, 8 ounce, and 2 bags of star tarts. And I break it down again, basically the burn time and the melt time. And then we have our actual our rustic candle box, which includes our premium cattle branded candle, which is a 12-ounce candle, and 2 bags of rustic star tarts. And this is how long it's going to last, blah, 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 right? And so then they have to click to go learn more to figure out what the price is based off, hey, what do you like visually? And then go learn more about that, okay? So before we continue, I just want to go ahead and touch back on something that we were talking about earlier, okay? So we saw that one of those companies was offering multiple different price points, okay? So this is super important, and a lot of people don't understand the benefit of this, okay? Now, they were, in my opinion, doing it wrong, okay? But what we do, okay, so we have 4 candle box subscriptions, right? And guess what that means? So not only do we have 4 different ways that we can offer our candles in a subscription and have more people join based off their price comfort level and what they want to receive and what they want to pay on a monthly basis, but we can also multiply those 4 monthly candle boxes. Actually, wait, hang on. We got the rustic tart box, we got the rustic mason box, we got the rustic candle box, and we have the monthly tart bar. Okay, so yeah, we have 4 basically candle subscriptions, okay? But what we can do is we can turn 4 times 3. Okay, so we turn 4 into 8 without making anything different. Okay, so let me explain. Now, you have your monthly plan, right? You have the $14.99 per month or whatever, or the $10.99 per month plus $4.99 shipping, basically $14.99, right? So how do we turn that into 3 other income sources, okay? Or 3 total income sources, okay, as you were. So we have the monthly plan. We can also offer that same subscription in a 6-month plan, and we can also offer that same subscription in a annual plan. But if you want to go all out, you can even do the 3-month plan like that one company was offering, so they can pay in advance for 3 months, okay? But it's totally up to you. Let me show you. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and share again because I want to show you a visual of this. I know it might sound complicated, and I just want to make sure that I'm making sense here. Okay. So let's just say you start with 1, right? You got 1 candle box. Okay. Now let's say that's most of people were doing an 8-ounce candle. Okay. Excuse my writing. I'm trying to do this with a little pad here. Here, I'll do text. All right. So we got an 8-ounce candle, and that's it. Let's just say that's it, right? Okay. So our monthly option for that would be $10 based off what everybody was doing, right? From the low point. Or actually for the 8-ounce, it was more like 20, 20, 20, 22, 24. So let's just pick 20 plus, which what we do is $4.99 shipping and handling. Okay. So let's say that this is your candle box that you create. All right. And it has an 8-ounce candle and let's say 2 free gifts. Okay. Basically, I'm just modeling our rustic mason box right now. Okay. So we have 1 candle box, right? Now, how do we multiply this? Okay, so we take this entire piece and we duplicate it, and we duplicate it, and we duplicate it, and we duplicate it. All right, so now you have multiple different price points for the same exact product. So they could pay on a 3-month basis. They could pay on a 6-month basis. Or they could pay on a 12-month basis. 12-month basis. Okay, so I guess we don't need this one. So we only needed 4, right? All right, so we just took one subscription and we multiplied it into 4 different ways people to pay you, okay? Now, if I was you, what I would do instead of what that one company was doing was charging the same exact amount for each price point, each payment plan, I would incentivize them to join the other ones by giving them discounts, bulk discounts. So let's say that, what is it? $24.99 times 3 is $74.97. Okay, so let's take $74.97 times 10%. It's basically $750. $74.97 minus $750, $67.47. So let's just call this one $67 and 10% off. Okay, because again, you're going to need a reason to incentivize people to pay up front for 3 months, because that's what they're doing. They're going to pay 3 months in advance, and then the next 3 months they're going to get their shipment. And that's how you take one candle box and multiply it into 4 MSIs. Now, what is an MSI? Multiple sources of income, okay? And the beautiful thing about this is each one of these multiple sources of income is also monthly recurring revenue. Okay, so even if they bought the 3-month plan, guess what happens after 3 months? Their subscription renews for another 3 months. And guess what happens after the 6-month plan ends? Another 6-month subscription renews. And then the 12-month plan, the annual plan, same thing. And it automatically bills them for another 12 months. Okay, so each one of these is a source of income, and it's on a monthly reoccurring basis. So this is a beautiful thing. Like I said, you start with one by doing your research, figuring out what the other people are making, figure out what you have, what you can make, what you can include, what you want to price it for based off what you're seeing other people do. You set up your first one. Then you multiply it into a second. Then you multiply it into a third. Then you multiply it into a fourth. And all the while, you're still only making one candle box, and you're just selling it in 4 different ways, okay? By giving those customers the 10% off, 15% off, 20% off, whatever you want to give them, bulk discounts for paying in advance, okay? And once you have the first one up and running, guess what you can do? You can model it again. So you repeat the process. Let's say this time you want to set up a 12-ounce candle box. Okay, so we set that up, we price it whatever we want to price it, and then boom, after we get it up, we multiply it again into a second version, a third version, and a fourth version, price point wise. Okay, so then you have 8 sources of income all together. Okay, and then you can do it again, and you can do it again. You can have as many subscriptions as you want. And again, the customer's going to join whichever one they want based on what price point they're comfortable in, okay? And they're going to stay as long as they love your product, right? So this is how you take one candle box and multiply it into multiple sources of income, creating monthly reoccurring revenue, which is what creates freedom. And you're also on the pre-order model, so you're taking orders for a whole month. They're paying up front. You're never coming out of pocket on your actual inventory. You're only making what has actually been ordered, and you make it in bulk one weekend. And then you turn around, you ship it out, and then you're done again for a whole nother month. Okay, it's a beautiful concept, beautiful thing that I literally stumbled upon by accident when I was working a full-time job and had no other option but to make it in one weekend per month. Okay, so this is what we stick to, and this is what I teach my students how to do. So again, the fastest way to make money with candles is subscriptions. Okay, you create one, then you multiply it into multiple sources of income. Then you create another one, then you multiply it into multiple sources of income, and so on and so forth. Okay, and this is what creates freedom. This is exactly what I did nearly 5 years ago, and it was what helped us grow to a six-figure candle business. Now I teach it to other struggling candle business owners and startups, not only showing them how to create their own version of a monthly candle box, how to make it stand out in the marketplace, and what to name it, but also how to get people on it, because that's the most important part, right? If you would like to learn more on this topic, there's a link in the description to a free candle class I put together where I break it all down for you. And hey, maybe you can be one of my next happy students who can stop doing all that other stuff and actually start making money with your candles. Other than that, be sure to watch our next video.